Some have suggested Louisville deserves the death penalty. Agree?
Pat Forty, a friend of mine, tremendous sports writer, wrote a piece calling for the death penalty. This is so preposterous. If there's going to be a death penalty, it needs to be to amateurism. Give amateurism the death penalty, then you have a chance at creating a system free of a lot of this corruption. As long as amateurism is in place, as long as this bogus NCAA enforces amateurism, you can give Louisville the death penalty, and 10 years from now, you'll be giving someone else the death penalty. You can get rid of Art Browse, and a few years later, it's going to be the next coach. And we can call out Rick Pitino and all these guys, and they're the bad guys. It's the system that's bad, not the individuals.
All right. Coach K never had an affair in a brothel.
No.
If anybody...
All right, now, what do we... Now, serious, honest to goodness, you don't know a damn thing about Coach K's private life. I don't know anything about yours.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Eric Dickerson's. I don't know anything about Jim Jackson.
We got
That's
the
a
death
bogus
penalty, I know
comment.
that.
Brothel. There's no brothel at Duke.
There's no brothel at Louisville. They had some strippers come to the dorm.
Look.
And that happens at most college campuses.
Look, first of all, the death penalty should have never happened. At my school, got the death penalty, only death penalty ever. If anybody should have got the death penalty, it should have been Penn State for what went on there, if you want to say death penalty. To me, the NCAA are the biggest crooks of all because they say, okay, we can sell your jersey, we can sell your name, we can sell your likeness, but you can't make any money. You have a scholarship, you get free boarding, and that's it. But we can make tens of millions of dollars. I think it's wrong. Do they deserve the death penalty? No. And I heard you say it this morning. Or they don't cheat. Alabama doesn't cheat. Duke doesn't cheat. Man, look, all of them cheat. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Trust me. You just don't see them cheating. They haven't got caught cheating, but all of them cheat. You want to call it cheating. And it's not cheating.
Back when newspapers actually did reporting, the newspaper, the Final Four was in New Orleans. The Times-Picayune did a long expose exposing all the corruption at Duke and the Duke basketball program. Look it up. It's on the internet. It was never objected to. Nothing.
Nothing. That's
and
the
so,
big school. The
again,
big school,
all of
happened.
them. It's like being a little bit pregnant. You know, some people are just showing a little more.
You know what's going to happen with this, because this is not about the NCAA per se. FBI investigated this. The FBI is involved. So the key component here is that we're scratching the surface in regards to the bigger schools, also the financial managers that are going to come out, also the bigger shoe companies. This thing right now is going to create a firestorm. I think that the NCAA now is going to have to recalibrate itself on how it operates. Once AAU kind of took off in regards to the influence they had on young people, that's when the shoe companies, that's when the agents really came in and took over where high school coaches used to be. And college coaches, whether we believe it or not, the big programs, the small programs, the big boys try to keep themselves arm's distance away, but their assistant coaches are under a mandate and they know exactly what to do, how to do it, and when to do it. Even if the head coach is in the other room, they understand and they know what's happening in their program.
And the head coach knows. He might not want to know all of it, but he knows what's going on.
Well, listen, the FBI, the reason why the FBI is involved is because the game has changed. The financial advisor is now more important than the agent. And because there's more money to be made on young players off the court because the NBA contracts are set up and guaranteed for
also,
rookies.
too, the FBI was doing an internal investigation on another matter. They had an informant. This informant said, hey, listen, I got some other news about what's going on in college basketball. They inserted that informant into these meetings, inserted their own informants in there, and got all this data. So sometimes it's not what you do to get caught, it's somebody else that opens that door.
Everybody always says everybody cheats on their taxes. It's not true. Everybody cheats on their wife. It's not true. Gonzaga doesn't have a brothel on their campus, and they never will.
Louisville doesn't have a brothel on their
Gonzaga's not winning national championships either.
Right.
Well, they're pretty darn good.
We didn't have a brothel.
Huh?
We didn't have a brothel.
I know we didn't.
Everybody had a
No one
Corvette.
had a brothel. But listen, strippers and athletes and college campuses and fraternities and everybody else. Look, man, having participated at a small level, Eric at the highest level, Jim at the highest level of college athletics, Colin, these people, we're not speculating. You know, there's different ways to cheat. There's more ethical ways to cheat. Oh, I can get your mother a job at this
Well, that's
school
what I'm
or
saying.
that school. That's still cheating.
That's cheating.
Okay.
And if Under Armour sets your mom up with an AAU team and all that other stuff to get you to one team,
FedEx gets you down
there's
there.
all different kinds of
If you are
ways.
coaching college kids and you have an affair with a staff member's wife, bye-bye.
I'm sure that's the only time that's ever happened.
I'm shocked.
Then you know what?
Men don't have affairs.
Ever.
Again, but this is the classic. Well, everybody does. Everybody
Well, look at the
does it.
divorce rate.
By the way, do you guys think it was a coincidence that Pitino suddenly, when Calipari arrived, became the number 2 program in the state? USC basketball, number 2 program in town. Oklahoma State, Auburn, number 2. Isn't it funny that the 4 programs that were caught were all chasing in a competitive industry the better program in the state?
Well, but Louisville always been number 2 to Kentucky. They've always been number 2 to Kentucky.
Yeah, but when Calipari got there and started getting all the headlines, Louisville radio was...
Rupp was in Kentucky.
No, I'm talking now.
I don't understand. Tell me, before that, I can't recall the guy's name. Joe B.
Hall.
Joe B. Hall, whatever.
When Denny Crum was in Louisville.
Denny Crum, Louisville, that's been going on.
But in the world we live in now, Calipari moved into that state, and since he has, Pitino's program has had all sorts of issues.
And Calipari's played it all by the rules, too. He does it, I mean, what he's the same.
I haven't seen any strippers on that campus.
He got wings.
Just wait.
He got wings.
Wow.